is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, baby. Guess what? We are doing something absolutely different. So we are driving right now. We are in the middle of driving to Montreal from Quebec because we are going to the Metallica concert. So I didn't have time to sit down in the hotel and do a show today. So we're experimenting, and I'm on the road. I'm driving. So I don't know. Tell me how it sounds. You guys can give me a heads up. Let me see if I can go to the chat board. And I'll be, I don't know if can I do the chat board from here? Do I see it when I'm on? I don't know about that. That's the thing. I'm not exactly sure if I can see the chat board, but I would imagine Sean will tell me if it sounds like crap, am I skipping or whatever. Not exactly sure. So Sean, you're going to have to tell me what's the deal if everything is kosher. Anyway, listen, guys, obviously we've got the Dolphins and the Falcons. We've got Inter Miami and Charlotte. We've got the Marlins and the Yankees. Not that anybody really gives a shit unless you're a Yankee. Well, no, even if you're a Yankees fan, you're just wallowing in your beer because you spent all that money and you suck. So that's kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? So we are headed to Metallica tonight, and we're gonna get Pantera and Mammoth opening up tonight. Then tomorrow, it is Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills will be opening. No, not tomorrow. Sunday. I'm sorry. Because we get a day off in between on Saturday. Saturday is the day we try the poutine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure if it's, Dairy Queen hot dog-ish. I'm not exactly sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of effects it's going to have on me. So, but anyway, apparently we're sounding good. Manny Navarro will join us at 11:15, and Cameron Wolf will join us at 11:40. So I'm going to try to pull this shit off and see if we can actually do it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is, I guess I can't see the regular chat board. Is that what it is? I can't see the regular chat board. That kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? Although if you use yours, give me mine. I can actually use my other phone for. Yeah, what's up?
Should be able to hit the chat button on the phone. I just don't know what it's going to do if you're talking.
But that chat, I think that chat is just you and me, doggy. That's the personal chat.
There's a personal chat, but then you should be also still be able to see, I believe, the chat board on the phone.
Oh, yeah. On the phone. I got it. Comments. I got it. EJ Barro first. I see Miles Deep. I see Chad. I see Dude 67, GP Trap, Gus 1388. Where's Omar? I know Gus 1388 knows everything, so I don't have to explain it, but it's funny. Thank you, Gus 1388. You're the best, bro. Magnus, Big Bob, J Town, GP Trap, Miles Deep. Steven Gonzalez says, bro, you guys are really a badass platform from the car now. Wow, that's dedication, baby. Yeah, that's us, man. That's us. So at least I could check the chat board. Thank you there, Sean. I appreciate it. And remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And by the way, Boca Jaw Surgery right there. Go see my guy, Ronnie, new sponsor of the program. And if you need some work, Sean, by the way, is a customer. And he knows my man Ronnie is the best in the biz. So just in case if you need any surgery, he's in Boca, obviously. Big Dolphins fan, by the way. Huge Dolphins fan. But if you want to be a sponsor of the platform, 786-754-4664. By the way, one of you reached out to me, Rick D. Man. You reached out to me. You got to call my business line, bro. That's the best way. I can't talk to you on Cash App. And thank you for the donation.
on Cash App. Appreciate it. Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. Always appreciate however you guys support the platform. It's very kind of you. But Rick D, man, if you're talking about sponsorship, please reach out to our business line, 786-754-4664. We'd appreciate it immensely. As always, that's the best place to find out, if you want to be a sponsor of our platform, like Boca Jaw Surgery right there, baby. Anyway, got a lot of things to talk about. Listen, preseason, there's no preseason, breakdown. Nobody knows what the hell is going to happen. We don't know what's going on through Mike McDaniel's mind. Are you kidding me? We're going to start guessing what Mike McDaniel's going to do? No, but seriously, today or the game is really about Mitchell Agude. It's about watching Kendall Lamb make his progression. I'm sure they're going to play Austin Jackson. Happy birthday, Austin Jackson. I'm sure they're going to try to play Liam Eichenberg. Robert, don't try to crash the damn car while we're live on the show. What's wrong with you, dude? Anyway, so, that's what this game is about. It's about watching the no-name guys, the young guys, the transition guys, Cameron Good. I've been a Cameron Good guy since last year. Hell, I was kind of nervous that they put him on the practice squad because I thought somebody would steal him. And he's got versatility, he's got size, he's got length, he's got athleticism. He's just green. And he's showing up a little bit more this year now. That I want to see what happens when the lights go on. The Mike White, Skylar Thompson battle is going to be fun for this preseason. See, I'm the kind of Dolphins fan that is going to enjoy I enjoy all the preseason games because there is a reason to watch. No matter what anybody tells you, there's a reason to watch because there are positions. Elijah Campbell, he is on the brink, I think, of stealing the job, from Deshaun Elliott and from Brandon Jones. And Brandon is going, Brandon's probably the guy that's going to find his groove during the season. That's probably what it is because the poor guy's coming back from a knee injury. So he doesn't have nearly as much time as Elijah has had all offseason, working in the new system, getting ahead of Brandon, being able to hit and make plays and all of those things. So I think to me, a guy like Elijah Campbell is really exciting to see what's going on. So that's what this game is all about today. This game is about those kind of guys and find out, what's it called? A-Chain. You want to see him get a couple plays because he's gonna be a big part of the offense during the regular season. I think he's going to get over 5 carries a game, and I know he's going to be a receiver out of the backfield. So you want to get him involved in the offense, even though we kind of all feel if you've been to practice or anything, you kind of look at him and you go, "This kid's got the goods." You know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing about it. But you want to see him out there, right? And then you've got Ahmed. And Ahmed did a fabulous job filling in last year. Every time he would, I know it was only like 12 times, but the dude averaged 5 yards a carry. So he was always ready, a pro's pro. And I really like that about a young guy who stays ready and is not worried and is not in his head about his ego and playing time or money or anything we like to use on the show, and separate the issues and still be a professional. And while Ahmed is not the number one guy, he always stayed ready. So I want to see him today. I want to see him in this offense. I want to see what he's doing on defense. You want to see some of these young guys play and see what the hell is going on and who you're developing and where is certain guys in their development too in the secondary. Because you know what X is. You don't need to see Javon Holland. But all the other guys, you kind of want to see where they're at. Any of the guys coming back from injuries that are playing, where they at physically. So there's a lot of things to watch. But it's not one of those things like, well, we got to see, the offense put together 2 drives. There's too many moving parts. Special teams will be also an experiment in this game. So don't think that you're going to get, if you get clean special teams today, I'll be impressed. Listen, Danny Crossman as it is kind of, I got to be honest with you, he's on double secret probation. Okay? I know what happened. I think the coach gave him a break because of some of the other stuff that went on, and some of his players had to play on the regular teams, and so it kind of hurt his special teams and depth and the inconsistencies of the kicker and all that. But I'm sorry, dude. I was not impressed with Danny Crossman last year. To me, he was the worst coach out of the group. And so if anybody comes back with a big ass question mark on their heads, it's Danny Crossman. So Danny Crossman's got to start showing me also. Now today, in game 1 of the preseason, there's a lot of mixing and matching up and experimenting, so it's really hard. But by game 3, I need to see some good special teams from your starting units. And then at the beginning of the year, in this first month, I better see much improved special teams units. Okay? Much improved. I better see that, because Danny Crossman to me was out of. You guys can pick on Josh Boyer all you want. The defense really never cost them games. They kept them in all the games. They weren't great or anything, but then again, they had no secondary. So we've had this discussion, and I'm tired of it already. But to me, Danny Crossman was the worst coach out of the group last year. So that's one area that I'm kind of focusing on and saying, all right, what are we doing here on special teams? And are we going to see improvement on special teams? Is it going to be a strength, or is it going to be a weakness? And that's a real concern for me when we talk about special teams. So let me see what we got here on the comments. GP Trap says, sounds good. Says you might have to tilt the screen. Bro, I'm in a car. Take it as it is, buddy. Okay? If you don't like it, go to iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher and wait till Sean uploads it. All right? I mean, give me a break, bro. And by the way, my face, do you really want to see it that much on the screen? Give me a break. I'm probably breaking big TV screens all over the world. Some of you probably, how many screens have I ruined in your home? Let's see, what else do we have? Are you in an Uber? No, dude, we rented a car. We're here for a week, and we're traveling between 2 cities in Quebec and Montreal. Do you know how much an Uber would be? No, dog, we rented a car. No, I'm driving. See? I'm driving. Look, I'm driving. I drive blind. Ha ha. Screw Canadians. Come on, bro. Relax. What was the best band last night? None. We got rained out, bro. Mammoth did 4 songs. Thunderstorms came in, bombarded, and concert was over. They're going to actually redo the concert tonight, but it doesn't help us because we're at Metallica. This was a bonus concert that we came to because we were really only coming for Metallica, and then we saw Alter Bridge and Seven Dust, and then Mammoth also. Mammoth we'll see tonight, opening up for Metallica. So Mammoth wasn't the big deal for me. For me, it was about Seven Dust and especially Alter Bridge. I freaking love Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge has 2 of the most talented musicians in all of rock and roll. You know, and right now on the planet, right now, okay, Tremonti and Kennedy are 2 of the most talented rock and rollers on the planet, and I wanted to see those guys, and unfortunately, you know, that's how life is, man. You win some, you lose some, right? Let's see. So the best band last night was a Italian restaurant that we ended up at the end of the night. I haven't posted the video. Okay, check this out. I'm in fucking Quebec. All right, are you listening to me? I'm in Quebec. A Cuban in Quebec walks into an Italian restaurant, and the guy singing is singing Guantanamera. Guajira Guantanamera. Guantanamera. Guajira Guantanamera. I mean, really, seriously. I walked in, it's like, okay, did you know a Cuban was walking into this restaurant right now? Because I can guarantee I was the only Cuban in that restaurant. really groovy Italian restaurant. It's called Portofino, right? Portofino, and it's right in old Quebec City. And Quebec City, by the way, it is gorgeous. The architecture is beautiful. Um, as my buddy filled me in here on this, it was a fort, which I had no idea that Quebec City was an entire fort. And so it is just like, it's built in the 1600s and 1700s and shit like that. So, but if you want a really nice restaurant when you come to Quebec City, Portofino, and a groovy vibe, I'll post the video. I haven't posted the video. I forgot. But out of all places, I pull into Quebec and the guy's singing Guantanamera. Yo soy un hombre sincero. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. That battery on your phone is going to get drained. Nah, dude, we got the cable connected. What's wrong with you, bro? Modern technology. You stay on top of it. What's wrong with you people? When you hit the road, you got to be prepared. And then when you get off, you got a battery to take with you and stuff. What's wrong with you, Ray? Ray, you got to be prepared in life, dude. You know? That's what life is all about. It's about preparation, not age, just preparation. Vinny says, good morning, Big O. What should the Dolphins fan be looking for tonight? I gave you some of that already. I'll give you some more. Big O, can you say who would you sit tonight? Yeah, Armstead to Jalen Phillips. Jalen Waddle's banged up, so he's not going to play. Tyreek Hill. The obvious ones, dude. Now I'm playing Austin Jackson. I'm playing Liam Eichenberg. I'm playing Connor Williams for a series or two. Like, yo, dude, you haven't been sharp, and you held down, and you're doing all this shit, and now you're not snapping right and all that. Get your ass out there and sharpen your skills. You're not a polished, complete center, and you want to be paid like one. So I play a guy like Connor Williams a little bit. Rob Hunt had a little bit of unevenness, and then when the Falcons came to town, he took care of business. So I might hold out Rob Hunt now. Let's see. I'll hold that beer for you. Big O, you need to go to Schwartz for lunch today. We will probably go to Schwartz tomorrow, Doggy. Tomorrow's our off day. Today we're going just to get to our Airbnb, drop off our luggage, and go right to the stadium because we get early entry, and you got to get on the floor. This maniac is in the pit, so I didn't get pit tickets. I'm on the floor, but not pit. This dude is hardcore. I mean, I'm a minor leaguer next to this guy. What else do we have? Good Friday morning. Thank you, GP Trap. Appreciate it. All right. We don't have Manny yet in the fold, but he will be joining us any minute now. So we'll have some fun. We got Inter Miami tonight against Charlotte. I won't be able to watch that game. I'll check it out on the phone. I'll have the scoreboard up, and I'll keep abreast of the situation. I'm looking forward to watching that. So that's going to be pretty cool. When I get home, obviously I'll watch it tonight. So I got an off day Saturday. So when I get home after the Metallica concert, I can kick back and watch Messi and the boys. And it's fun. Known Grieber for 30 years. But I've been the guy in the electronic media that has pushed local soccer always. I've always been the guy on. So nobody in town, outside of the Moss family and Beckham and the obvious people that freaking spend the money, nobody in town is happier than I am that this has actually come to fruition and that soccer matters in this town. So it was fun when the Fusion were going and Ray Hudson had us in the Western Conference Finals. That year was super exciting, and I started getting calls and people were, talking about the Fusion and MLS soccer. Now with Messi, it's just, now the world is talking about Inter Miami. And that's something I never really thought of. I wanted South Florida to fall in love with local soccer and support it like I have since I was a kid. Now the world is supporting Inter Miami because we have one of the greatest players, arguably the greatest player to ever play the game. and he's here, and the world is watching. So it is so freaking cool that Inter Miami matters, not just here, not just in this country, but it matters on the entire freaking planet, dude. That's actually badass. That's it. Actually, no team in town has that microscope. No team in town has that attention now. Not the Dolphins, not the Heat. How crazy is that? That's the kind of attention that they have. It's impressive, man. It really is. I don't know how impressed, if I'm impressed with that, or that the service has been solid, that the sound on the show has been awesome. Okay? I think I got a Mountie like riding next to us on a horse with an antenna or something. I don't know. Something's going on. But we're all over. Oh, there's an antenna. There you go. So they've got us going. There. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see what we got here on the comments. No need to. Yes, exactly. Brax is gonna rip it up. I hope so. Oh, tell G I said hello. You got it. We will. Big O, what's going on, Quebec? Quebec is beautiful. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, Manny's in.
Manny is in? Okay. How come I don't see him I don't get to see him? Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, then, it is time, baby. Let's go with our Canes wear. Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
What's up, brother? You're in the car, and I'm at IMG Academy today. So it's we're on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let me see if oh man, get the hold on a second. Oh, I know what I got to do. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, no, I know you got me, but I need to get you and
This is the internet, baby.
okay. Now, no, I don't want Metallica. All right, let me see. All right, now let me see, because you're kind of low on there. Okay. Oh, it dropped? There we go. Okay. Sean? Somebody interview Sean?
He dropped. I'll put him back up as soon as. I think you're going to need headphones possibly for the interview.
Yeah, I may need them, but my problem is
were you going to try to Bluetooth, Manny?
Yeah, I was trying to actually raise the.
Got me now?
I was trying to do it here in the vehicle.
Got you, Manny.
Okay.
Oh, Manny. Let's see. I think hopefully we can pull it off, my brother. You doing all right?
I'm doing good, brother. Here at IMG Academy, it's media day today, so getting a chance to talk to all the kids that come here from all over the country to go to school here in Bradenton, and you can see I got a few of them walking by right now.
Oh, wait a minute. I know why. Go ahead, Manny. This is a
Can
disaster.
you got me now?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's just going to be hard to now at this point. But anyway, all right. I know practice. So do we have the pads on now? Finally.
We do. As of Wednesday, we have the pads on finally. We have some studying going on. The last two Canes practices have been closed to the media, but the one tomorrow at Hard Rock Stadium will be open to the media. So you'll have everybody will get a chance to see these guys in pads, do a little bit of hitting, and a little bit of practice for all of South Florida to see.
So what are you hearing anything about what's going on the offense right now?
No, I mean nothing but good positive reviews. I mean, they're working through camp like they usually do. I feel like because they're in an offense that's much more receiver friendly, much more quarterback friendly, a lot less, pro style, regular drop back, play action stuff. They're enjoying it more. I think that you're seeing some guys that are built to play in this offense thrive in this offense and do well. Feedback I'm getting is positive. I think, the freshmen are looking like freshmen at times, which is expected, but they're definitely different looking freshmen than the ones that have come in here the last few years, at least physically, size, work ethic. They're better. They're more the pedigree of what Mario wants. And I think, guys like Ray Joseph already getting first team snaps. Francis Maligoa, obviously, the starting right tackle. Mark Fletcher is doing great. Ruben Bain is doing great. So you're seeing a lot of the true freshmen come in and make an impact right away.
All right, so but we got to get to reality. Of course, there's always good things. You get home, you got your wife, but maybe the doorbell isn't working. You enjoy your job, but the printer's broken. Yeah, there's always things. There's always a negative somewhere. There's always a concern.
Right.
Dolphins camp, we're worried about left guard and right tackle. We watch it, we see it. I know you don't get to see it, okay? But coaches can't just blow roses up your ass the entire time. There's got to be something of concern because last year there was a lot of things to be concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Jalen Rivers, me personally, I don't think Jalen Rivers is the left tackle, okay? I think that he's an interior guard. I think when he goes up against elite edge rushers, he's going to get beaten. When they play Texas A&M, he's going to give up sacks. When Francis Maligoa lines up against guys that are 3 and 4 years older than him that have been in college, he's probably going to get his butt whipped a few times. So is everything beautiful in Hurricane Land? No. There's going to be guys that look, like they're making adjustments. But compared to last year, compared to the complete just garbage show that we saw last year, I think there's a much better feeling across the board. I think, Tyler Harrell, you got to see, is he going to be healthy the whole season? Is he going to be able to stretch defenses the way you want him to? If he's not available, do you have to depend on a true freshman like Ray to be that guy? Those are things that, as the season goes on, you know how it is. Those freshmen aren't used to playing those kind of physical battles every single week. So, to me, that's why everybody gets all excited. This team is going to win 9-10 games. I'm like, dude, just look at history. How many teams win with true freshmen? How many teams win 10, 11 games with true freshmen? No. It doesn't happen. Yeah. So you're going to have growing pains. Now, is it going to be better than last year? I have no doubt this is going to look better than last year. I have no doubt they're going to score more points than last year. But I think against better competition, against good teams, against Florida State, Clemson, Texas A&M, potentially the 2 North Carolina schools when you have to go and play those 2 games on the road, I think they're going to look like a 7-5, 84 football team.
Yeah, no, you and I have talked about that several times. I just like I like to hear both sides. I know there's going to be some positive things, but there has to be stuff. The last time things were beautiful and positive, it was like 2001. It was 91. It was 89.
Yeah.
It was 87. Come on, I know when it's beautiful, man. You're right. I know Manny will get them there. You know what I'm saying? But I know that there's going to be Just like I know that the Moss family eventually was going to win with Inter Miami. They're going to screw up and they're going to make all kinds of mistakes because they're new to this shit. But eventually they'll figure it out. And the same thing here. But I know we're going to go some trials and tribulations this year. That, we got to go through some tough stuff. Is Tyler looking super comfortable? Is it something that he's adjusting to? But what's the word with Van Dyke?
It's hard for me to tell without seeing 11-on-11 action because I frankly, I'm not able to see what he looks like under pressure. But going through 7-on-7, just flinging the football, I don't see any physical limitations. Like, I don't see a guy who injured his shoulder last year and had a grade 3 AC joint sprain. I don't see that anymore. I see a guy who is throwing the football well. But let's see when the bullets fly and he's got defensive linemen on top of him again. Does he get apprehensive? Does he throw the ball out of bounds? Does he stay in the pocket? What kind of guy is he going to be? None of that ultimately gets answered until September 9th. So I think you can say he looks great in practice and that he's got better chemistry with his receivers and his arm doesn't show any signs of wear and tear. But again, until the bullets fly, brother, you know how it is. Like we got to take word of what we're hearing from the coaches and what little we get to see.
Where are we recruiting-wise, transfer portal? Walk us through, because I don't know when these dates and windows open and end and all that kind of shit.
Well, the transfer portal window is basically closed, which is why Lawrence Seymour, a kid who decided to enter the portal last week, realized, man, I can't go play somewhere else right now. That's why he decided to ultimately come back. So unless you're a grad transfer, and Lawrence Seymour is not a grad transfer, he hasn't graduated from Miami yet, you can't just sort of move about the country. And I think you saw this past week with a couple of key players, Daryl Jackson, a former Miami starter who went to FSU, Tez Walker, a receiver at North Carolina. Both of them had their NCAA waivers denied. So I think a guy like Lawrence Seymour, who normally would leave at this time of year, is looking at his situation saying, man, I may not get that waiver to go play somewhere else this season. So let me stick it out. Let me go to school. Let me put in another year of school. And it's going to happen in a lot of places, though. It just doesn't get advertised. Mario's not going to come out there and say, hey, we've got 10 kids that we had on scholarship that are no longer on scholarship and are just students. What's going to happen is you're just not going to see them anymore. During the season, they won't even be dressed out. So I think for a lot of these guys, like a Lawrence Seymour and others who are at the bottom of the depth chart, a lot of them may just transition into being full-time students and then enter into the transfer portal at the next window. So I know this. They're not screwing around. They're not just going to play guys to play guys. They want to win. They know they have to win from that perspective. And then from a recruiting perspective, look, they were in it for Colin Simmons, a 5-star edge rusher who they had come and visit. Mario brought in a bunch of elite defensive linemen over the summertime. But, the kid is from Texas. His brother's autistic. And as far as I know, Texas came through with the NIL that he wanted, took care of him and his family, and, they beat out LSU and Miami. But this is what's going to happen. If you're not a team that is winning national championships and putting guys in the NFL on the regular, you're not going to win battles for 5-star guys. You're usually going to lose those. So I get the narrative. Hey, Jason Taylor, he hasn't won too many of these big recruiting battles. Dude, you're 5-7. Like you fight, you get into the finals, and you hope maybe in 2 years this kid decides, you know what, I don't want to play in Texas anymore. I'm ready to go somewhere else. And you're able to take them as a transfer, So that's why you continue to recruit these guys in the era of the transfer portal. You host as many of the studs as you can, and if you're the second or third school of their choice, you might end up getting them the second go round.
Right. One more thing before I let you go. We have a couple dynamic players back there in the secondary, but still last year there was a lot of inconsistencies with that secondary.
Yeah.
I know you're not watching, but are they just giving you flowers from what's going on back there? Or
well, I asked Mario specifically about the cornerbacks on Wednesday. Is there any way you can declare, hey, these guys look good? In other words, you trust these guys. And I've said this on the show. they've only got like 2 or 3 cornerbacks that were actually on the team last year back. The rest of it is all transfers and freshmen. So to me, Mario is still in wait and see mode. I think if he felt really good about certain guys, he would say it, but it's not there yet. So I think, look, to me, you ask me just from the outside and previous conversations that I've had with people on the staff, I think the older players are going to be the ones that play. The Jaden Davises, who's played at Oklahoma for 5 years, Devontae Brown, who was a 3-year starter at UCF, Daryl Porter Jr., who started at West Virginia before he came here. Those guys will all be in the rotation. And then hopefully as the year progresses, Damari Brown, who's probably the most talented guy that they have, he will eventually grow into that role and be somebody who maybe starts the last 3 or 4 games. But I think it's going to be a lot of the transfers and a lot of the guys that weren't here that have experience that they're going to end up going with.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Better yet, baby, subscribe to The Athletic like I and many others do so you can get a lot of insight on what's going on. Breaking news is all these college football conferences turning upside down. You can find out everything going on in The Athletic. Manny, as always, have a great weekend, my brother. We will continue to rock and roll in Canada.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon. Take care.
There you go. Manny Navarro, baby. And reach out to our friends at Caneswear, baby. You know what? I got to memorize the new address. I don't know. The old address, 2511 South University Drive. It is the same shopping center, but it's right next to La Spada. What do you got for me?
Go visit Caneswear, 2566 North University Drive.
I can't forget it anymore. The year I was born, 2566. That's it. 2566 South University Drive in Davie. And right next to La Spada, they get another plug again. It's amazing. By the way, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping, ladies and gentlemen. That's Caneswear.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Alrighty. There it is, our friends at EJDconstruction.com. We love Eric. He's a big crypto guy. He and I were talking about a little crypto this morning, actually going back and forth. Good dude, by the way, servicing Dade and Broward County. So if you need a full contractor, make sure you call my guys at EJD Construction. You know how to get it done, man. They're great people at EJD Construction. Eric, yeah, baby, big Dolphins fan too. Travels all over, big rock guy too. He would be here at Metallica if he could. If he wasn't so damn busy, he would be rocking with me here in Metallica. So anyway, let me check the chat board. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let's see. Portofino was a perfect choice. Big O, thank you. It's a very good place, Jeff. It was delicious. And, whew, how are the women? Now that you mentioned that EJ Barro, I can't say I've seen a lot of knockouts. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Didn't even know there were Cubans in Quebec. No, there weren't. Not anymore. He just left. He gone. Brian says, good morning, Big O and Sean, and everyone smash the like button. Happy Friday. We get another day to live. Damn right, bro. Every day is a blessing. Every single day. Okay? Let's see. Years ago, I went to an Italian restaurant in Kuwait. They had a mariachi band playing, and all the band members were Filipino. Very weird. That is awesome. A mariachi band that's Filipino. That's fantastic. That's like I was driving from, because QAM is such a cheap piece of shit station back in the day, and still is. Actually, it's cheaper now than it was back in those days. So I'm covering the. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was 640 Sports that was the cheap bastards in this one. And radio entirely is cheap. Unless you work on the Big O Show platform, then you really travel all over the place. But anyway, outside of that, ask Sean. He travels. He's gone to Vegas twice already, and he went to the Hall of Fame. Ask him if he could ever do that in radio nowadays. Never. Anyway, that's like Brandon Rodriguez, who's a fantastic human being, worked at that shit station QAM and worked at the shit station 640 with me, although good people at 640. It's just they were in over their heads. But they weren't paying for a flight from Mobile to the Super Bowl. But at least they were paying for the hotel as Super Bowl. So that's big. So we had to drive, they told us. And we said, okay, we drove. So you drive from, when you go to Mobile to Dallas, you got to drive through Shreveport. So we stop at, what's that place? What's the one that's the burger place where you park and they skate out sometimes? Or Sonic. So we pull into a Sonic in Lafayette, Louisiana. Are you listening to me? A Sonic in Lafayette, Louisiana. And so a guy comes to the window to take our order, and he's Asian. Not a big deal, an Asian living in the South. That's everybody lives in the South. All kinds of people, okay? It's nothing. His fucking name was Bruce Lee. Okay. You tell me what the chances are. You're driving through Shreveport, Louisiana. You stop at a Sonic, and the Asian dude serving you is named Bruce Lee. And I said, come on. That's not your name. And he showed me the license. His Louisiana license. It said Bruce Lee. I said, no, I got to take a picture of this. And I took a picture of his tag, Bruce Lee, and I was like, this is too much. This is too much. So, there you go. The shit that will happen on the road, right? Daryl says, I hope you enjoy your time away, Big O. Do you have any other plans to check out anything else other than your concerts? My boy went to the aquarium, go see a polar bear. I didn't get to do that, unfortunately, but whatever. I mean, we saw Quebec City, eating some food, gonna try poutine, but it's mainly about rocking out and still doing my job, actually. So we have found a way to still rock and roll and still do our thing. Is Cam ready to go? Because I don't know. He's due. If not, send him a reminder and give me a reminder, because apparently I don't get to see them step into the green room. Is that what we could? It's not really a green room, because that's like a physical thing that they do on TV. So what are we going to call the O room? The O room. There you go. So I don't see them in the O room. So when they get into the O room, tell me and give me a heads up. Okay? That way I know. What else do we have on the questions here? Manny sounds like he's in a thigh sandwich with a muff patty. That's just twisted. EJ Barro, you are a twisted man. I just want you to know that. What do you know about Messi might play for Argentina in September? They said in the ESPN. No, that's all you're talking about. No. There's not going to be no loan, okay? He'll go there for a celebration and all that to honor him, and then it's over, and that's it. But it's not like he's going to play or anything like that. No loan or anything like that. Moss said. So that report was off. Let's see. If UM can somehow leave the ACC in the next few years, what's a better conference? I would go to the SEC, Troy. I'm an SEC guy through and through. I'd rather go to the best conference, bro. Go to the NFL of college football, the SEC. I would love that they're constantly playing Alabama and Auburn and Georgia and LSU, and I love it. They'd be playing the really good teams all the time. That's fantastic. That's how you want to measure yourself on a consistent basis, and that'll help recruiting out too. Because eventually you'll start having success against them, and then that's the best stage to recruit. Hey, man, you guys get to play against all these teams. You're on television all the time. It just, take it, man. Who cares about the basketball conference at this point? For now, you've got Larinaga, that he's going to win wherever the hell he's at. And if you put him in the SEC, dude, if he wins in the ACC, my God, he'll dominate in the SEC.
Oh, Cam is in the O room.
Oh, Cam is in the O room. All right, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. It is time to unleash the Wolf Pack.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
Oh, what's going on, man?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're doing a flip here. A lot of times I join the show and I'm in the car. And it's flipped. We're flipped around today.
Yeah.
Oh, you hit a spot. Oh, you've hit a spot. You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up on my end, though.
Hey, you're at a spot. You're going through something right now. You're not good.
Maybe we have can like Verizon.
Yeah, it's still pretty choppy.
It's so choppy.
Yeah.
You're choppy. You're choppy.
I love how Sean's trying to join in and he can't join in. But it's him.
Yeah, I can't hear anything you're saying, man. I apologize.
Oh, you're not coming in at all right now. You're frozen on the screen and your audio is terrible.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. I'm guessing you're asking me a great question. I just don't know what it is right now. But I'll say this as O kind of gets through this for folks who are viewing. I'm very eager. I'll give you my thoughts about the Dolphins preseason game today, and maybe we get O back. If not, then we'll kind of roll from there. But do we have O here? I think you're still breaking up.
Oh, Lordy, I love it. I know, man. I'm sorry. I we just did an interview with Manny, and it went perfect. And
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm probably in a bad area, and that's probably why. Can you hear me now?
You're better now for sure. You're definitely better.
So maybe we hit a tower now that we were probably in some kind of a dead spot.
One of the viewers said you're Orlando El Choppy.
Right. None of us can really get into Mike McDaniel's mind, really, to preview today and know what the hell is going to go on or all that. Today is about Mitchell Gude. Today's about Kendall Lamb. Today's little Austin Jackson. Today is trying to find out who's who and who's made progress.
Yep.
And some young guys that have caught our eye. Hey, Cameron Good, can you build on what you've done so far? That kind of stuff. Elijah Campbell, are you working your way to stealing that starting safety job? That kind of shit. I think that's what this is about, is watching certain individuals, and Mike White and Braylon and Skyler in the battle for number 2. These are the things that we're kind of watching today.
Yeah, I think the preseason and particularly the first game is more about the individual than the team. And so I think you hit it on the money. It's going to be very vanilla in scheme. You're not going to see what Mike McDaniel's doing. You're not going to see a lot of what Vic Fangio's doing. But this is really to see who belongs in the NFL. When you put the pads on, can you withstand the contact? Can you deliver the contact? Is the game too fast for you? That's typically, there's a lot of guys who look good in t-shirt and shorts. There's a lot of guys who look good in training camp. And then you got to go against another team and tackling and physicality and all that portion of the game, and it becomes clear that this is not the game for you. And so I love to watch the trenches in this type of game. I want to see the offensive line and defensive line. You mentioned some of the guys there on the bubble. I'm not worried about Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer and Emmanuel Ogbah. It's the guys you mentioned. It's the Mitchell Agude. It's who's going to be that 4th or 5th defensive tackle. That's something Vic Fangio is trying to see. Your backup linebackers. What is Channing Tindall, who has been very quiet for really the last 2 years? What is he going to do? Aubrey Miller, the undrafted linebacker out of Jackson State, can he beat Channing Tindall out for a roster spot? That's something we haven't talked about a lot. I don't think that's crazy to think about.
By the way, was Aubrey Miller at any of the HBC events you went to?
He was. And I know Aubrey Miller pretty well. We talked throughout the process, and he let me know when he was coming to Miami. And so I do know Aubrey. And Aubrey, the funny thing about Aubrey backstory, because we don't talk a lot about the smaller undrafted kids, but since you brought it up, I'll tell this backstory. I went to Jackson State's Pro Day in 2022 when Deion Sanders was still there. Did an interview with Deion. It was great. At that time, there was a kid coming out of the draft, and his name was James Houston. He ended up getting drafted by the Detroit Lions in the 6th round, and he had an amazing rookie season. I think he had 6 or 7 sacks. He had some sacks, some days where he had multiple sacks in a game. But what was interesting there is there's not a lot of prospects coming out of Jackson State. And so I asked a few of the scouts there, is there a prospect coming up that you have your eye on? And there was one scout, I won't say the team, but there was one scout who was adamant to me. Aubrey Miller is coming out next year. We were watching him already. I came in a day early on junior day to see Aubrey Miller. Now, Aubrey didn't end up getting drafted, and a lot of it, he's not the size, the quote-unquote size, but the league has been waiting and watching Aubrey Miller for multiple years now. And so this isn't a guy who just came on the radar this year and you're trying to, this guy came out of nowhere. No, the league has known about him for a little bit. And so he was a guy, when I saw the undrafted list come out, and I thought that he's got one of the best chances to make this team. And particularly when you look at the linebacker group and the depth they have there, it would not surprise me at all if he has a strong preseason and he makes this roster.
Yeah, and listen, there's opportunities for him. So that's the good thing. The other thing I talked about in the opening segment when I talked about the preseason game, I got to tell you something. Danny Crossman is a guy that I'm focused in on, because you can tell me, I get it, man. When you got Fangio, who gives a shit about Josh Boyer? And I get all of that, but I thought Crossman was actually the weaker link than actually Josh Boyer was last year. And listen, to his defense, a lot of his players had to play on defense and all that kind of stuff, so it stretched his unit thin, and I get it, but we had inconsistencies at kicker, didn't have great return games. I know we had the big return there in the Buffalo game, but I got to see more from Danny Crossman. I got to see more consistencies from his unit. Now, I'm smart enough. I've been around the block a few times, Cam. I know this is not the game to measure Danny Crossman.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of experiments that is going on special teams.
Yep.
I get all of that. But what I'm saying is that I need to see something as the preseason develops, and in that first month of the season, I need to see better special teams than I saw last year from Danny Crossman's units.
Yeah, I think this is the time where you figure out who makes the team, and special teams always plays a big factor in that. I just mentioned, linebacker room. Your linebackers have to be good on special teams. One thing that I think fans don't realize a lot of times is guys may not be the best 53 at their position, but they are best in their particular role. And like one thing I am watching, we talk a lot about the running back position, and you have Raheem Mostert, you have Jeff Wilson, you have Devon Achane, and then you have Salvon Ahmed and Myles Gaskin. And I had a reporter come in town and was like, who do you think is going to make the roster between Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed? They can't keep 5, right? And I'm like, no, they probably don't keep 5. And they have the fullback Alec Engel. But the thing that you have to think about here is Salvon Ahmed or Myles Gaskin may be good enough to make this team, but neither of those guys do much on special teams. And so could you see a situation where both of those guys get cut? Neither makes the team, and you go sign another 4th running back who is strictly a special team stud. He may not be better at running back than Myles Gaskin or Salvon Ahmed, but if you feel great about Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson and Devon Achane, then those 3 weren't going to play. Those other 2 weren't going to play anyway. And so I think you see some of those games being played here. And so you're not always competing just with the guys on your roster. You're competing with the other guys who are going to be on the waiver wire. There may be a team that's heavy at running back who drops a special teams ace that you go pick up. You might be talking about who's competing for the 5th or 6th wide receiver spot, and it may be a guy who's really good at blocking or really good at being a gunner who they go pick up. Same thing at linebacker and corner. Like a lot of times you don't see that. So that's why I think
Larry Izzo was a terrible linebacker, bro.
Yep.
A terrible linebacker. But he was an elite special teams linebacker, special teams backer, or cover guy, or whatever the hell you want to call him. He was one of the best, and you know that's kind of the way it goes. Sometimes you get a trade off. Devin Hester, maybe the greatest returner in the history of the game, but he was kind of a mediocre wide receiver, and that's just kind of the way it is. You know what I mean? But he's a Hall of Fame returner, bro.
Yes. So that's a great point. So those are elements I'm looking at in regards to special teams with Danny Crossman. You're not necessarily competing against your next in your room. You're competing against, are you good enough compared to what else is out there? And the other thing I will say, a little bit higher on the maybe the depth chart, I'm eager to see both this tight end room and the safeties, because those are 2 spots where I think quietly there has not been a lot of excitement this offseason. There hasn't been every position is not going to be an A1 position, but nothing I've seen at tight end has moved the needle for me. They have a bunch of guys who are blocking.
We're going to get Higgy with it, bro.
And so and so the question is there an upgrade that you can find, or does somebody in preseason flash? Does a Eric Saubert or does a Tyler Croft or does Durham Smythe show more than they've shown so far? And then at safety, I don't know how much we'll see Brandon Jones coming off that knee. He may be a guy you wait till preseason game 2 or 3 with, but Deshaun Elliott, do we see any Trill Williams? Do we see any Elijah Campbell? Do these guys separate themselves at all? Because there's a lot of questions to me, particularly with those 2 spots, along with the obvious ones, the offensive line, left guard, right tackle, ones we've been watching all camp.
I don't know if you can hear me because it got a little choppy for me, at least. Maybe it's me and not anybody else. But if you can hear me, one more thing here before I let you go. Excitement is something that this team has with Waddle, with Tyreek, with Mostert. There's a lot of explosiveness. We're not going to see any of that explosiveness tonight, and there's no need to see any.
I think we lost you. I am going to, if you don't come back in the next 3 seconds, I'm going to do my best to guess what he was going to ask. I may or may not be right. He was talking about the players we aren't going to see. And so I don't expect to see a lot of Tyreek or Waddle or Tua. I think that they are perfectly fine with getting the reps that we saw in joint practice. And I'm less concerned about those guys and more concerned about the roster of bubble guys that we've mentioned. I know there were some questions about what we've seen in joint practice. They didn't dominate the Falcons the way I think a lot of fans hope they would. But I do think there's some experimenting going on. If you remember, the Dolphins had a period last season, even when they were healthy, when they were healthy, where they ran into those West Coast teams, the Chargers, the 49ers, and they disturbed their offense. I think this is a period where you're seeing Mike McDaniel experiment with a lot of things. And so I wouldn't get concerned that the offense isn't looking like peak offense right now. And I don't know that I necessarily need to see those reps. I think you're going to see Tua in preseason game 2. And if you don't see him tonight, and you may see a glimpse of Tyreek or maybe a glimpse of Waddle if he's okay. But to me, I put those guys in bubble wrap for the most part outside of 1 or 2 series and say, hey, let's go. Let's go week 1 regular season against the Chargers. I think we have other issues to worry about, and Tua and the wide receivers are low on the totem pole as far as my worries.
Now you sound good. I think we hit another tower now. All right.
Hey,
so wrap it up.
Oh, you may have missed it, but I guessed your question
and
I improvised, and I think I gave the answer. I don't know. Tell me what your question was, and I'll let you know if I answered it.
Well, the beauty is had a lot of speed on the field with Tyreek and Waddle and all these guys. We're not going to see them. But tonight we can see speed with A-Chain. And so it should be.
See, I did not guess the question right. No, go ahead. Yeah, I improvised for the show when you went off, and I tried to guess your question and answer it in the same token. And I gave people, I think, good content and good answers, but it wasn't an A-Chain answer. And so I'll answer your A-Chain question.
Yeah, I think we're going to, at least that's going to be exciting, right? Because we don't get to see Waddle. We shouldn't see Waddle. He's banged up. Obviously, Tyreek and Mostert. No need to see any of these guys. But, man, you know, A-Chain's been that guy that has flashed to us, and we're like, okay. And they got to unleash the Kraken today a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of Devon A-Chain. Yesterday, Tank Dell, who was one of my favorite players in the draft, had an amazing day with the Houston Texans. And so I'm hoping that A-Chain makes his splash the same way. I want to see A-Chain run inside the tackles. I know that's something that he's done in spurts, but it's different when you know a linebacker's not going to pop you, your teammate, versus knowing preseason game is a little different. And so right now, I know that A-Chain's going to be very good with them in a package. Maybe he gets 6 to 8 plays a game where he's running out there and using the speed. What I don't know is how much he's going to be able to withstand the punishment at his size if they use him a little bit more inside the trenches. So that's one thing I want to watch tonight. But you better believe if A-Chain's on a linebacker, A-Chain's gone. And so I think we're going to see that speed that we've seen throughout the offseason in camp with him today.
I'm looking forward to it, man. All right, what do you got going on the NFL Network, my brother, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, so I'm actually in Charlotte. You see my hotel room today. I'm actually checking out Bryce Young tomorrow night. He plays his NFL preseason debut against the Jets. We won't see any Aaron Rodgers, but I was down here for joint practice Thursday, and so I got to see a little bit of the Jets. Going to see a little bit more of the Panthers and Bryce Young on Saturday, and so that will be on NFL Network, that game at 4 p.m. Saturday. So you'll see me in the pregame coverage, the postgame coverage, and then you'll have the game. And then I'm heading back home Sunday morning, and I'll be back at Dolphins practice at least a couple days next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be back home on Monday myself, my brother. Have safe travels. Thank you for taking some time and hosting and co-hosting. So
hey, man, the more you can do, right? The more you can do.
Every time a youngin would come into the business, I would tell him, be a sponge.
Yes.
Anything and everything, the more you know, the more valuable you are to people. The less you know, the less valuable you are to people and easier to get rid of. All right? So, you know.
That is true. That is true.
No doubt about it. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Cam, thank you, my brother. You be good out there.
All right, you too.
You got it. Call my friends at KSDT CPA. They've got offices in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. They are growing and it's like a Pac-Man. They're chomping up and building offices everywhere, baby. They're building one in North Carolina, others to come, and they are a top 200 firm, according to Forbes, that is, accounting firm, tax firm, top 200 by Forbes, baby. KSDT CPA 305-670-3370. Use that QR code right there. Reach out to them. They can help you. Even with your business, they can help your business grow. If you're trying to sell it, you want to know what the valuation is. If you're having issues with payroll, insurance, you're trying to plan ahead because you don't know where the market is going, where the economy is going, call the people at KSDT CPAs. They will help you. They will help guide your business so you can be as strong as possible. These people are absolutely amazing. They also have a crypto department for you crypto folks like yours truly. 305-670-3370.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
Alrighty. Appreciate all of you out there. There it is, Cutter's Edge Pro. We love William and Mike. Great people, Dave Broward and Palm Beach counties, man. And by the way, we're in hurricane season, so you want to clean up. And if you got them trees that are hanging on the wires or on your roof, don't go crazy and put yourself at risk. Call professionals. They know how to do it right. And by the way, if you're looking for artificial turf, trust me, we have ours. It's been on nearly a year, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Just like the first day you put it on, and the dogs are loving it, and it is easy to maintain. So call Cutter's Edge Pro. Add artificial turf to your yard, man. It's saving hundreds and thousands in the long run because you're not cutting grass and watering. Right there, that's going to save you a lot of money. What do we got on the chat board here? Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You're a pro, Cam. There you go. Eddie giving Cam a little love. Cam did a great job, as always. Can you better get room service before you learn okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Rick D. Man, call me on the business line, 786-754-4664. Rick D. Man, call me there. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. The Cash App. Thank you, but I can't have a discussion with you about business there. So call me at 786-754-4664. Orlando El Choppy Al Suaray. Sean, take over. Marcel, give us some updates. So it's not Marcel that was on. It was Cam, by the way. Let's get him. Pat in Nashville. Now Cam sees what it's like to interview him. I read that before. What else do we have here? I need more Peely in my life tonight. You'll get Brandon Peely, the USC kid. He's done a really nice job. He's working his way to trying to earn a spot here. He's going to be the last defensive tackle right now. This is a really important stretch for him here in the game to kind of, okay, you did it in practice, kid. Now do it in a game and kind of show us. And remember, here's the other thing. You're not playing against the number ones. You're playing against very few number twos and then threes and fours. So you need A-Chain to start tonight. He has to show you that he can be better than what's on the field because he's going to be playing against number ones. Brandon Peely has to show you that he's better than what's on the field because he's going to be playing against number ones. So if you're playing against number threes and number twos and number fours, then you need to dominate. And so Brandon Peely has to have success tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have A-Chain have success. Because all of you, if you make the team, you're going to be playing against much better competition. You'll be playing against ones. Tonight, you're not playing against ones. So it's imperative that these players that you're trying to assess, that they really show themselves that they're better than the people on the field, because the people on the field are not supposed to be your equal. And if they're your equal or better, then you've got problems. Igbenogany cannot make a couple of plays in practice, and then tonight, when he's not going up against the number one quarterback and the number one wide receiver, he can't get burned for 40 yards. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of the trick also of all of this. while you're testing them, while you want them to have success, they must have success against lesser competition. And that's automatic. And if you struggle against lesser competition, then what the hell do you think the coaches in the front office people are going to say? Well, wait a minute, he's going up against a second or third string tackle, and he can't get past this guy? So how do I expect him to get past the first string tackle? And that's part of the game tonight. So it is imperative that a lot of these guys, when they have success, they're having success against lesser players. So inside that building, all around the NFL, they're all going to say, okay, you should have done that. They're not going to be impressed. They're going to say, that's what you should have done. You and I, and the media in general, we'll be impressed. We'll have some fun. We'll talk about A-Chain, and if he blew off a 35-yard run and then caught a 15-yard touchdown, and we'll say, all right, dude, wow, that was cool. A-Chain looked great. In the building, they're going to say, okay, he did what he was supposed to do. He's supposed to dog those dudes. He's better than them. We need him to be good against the other guys that are better than these guys. And that's the trick of preseason. So those are some of the things that we are looking for. Okay? So the big debate in the community, once again, is do we let Tua play a quarter or more in week 2 or preseason? No, that he won't play in week 2. He'll play in week 3. And that's it. He'll play in the final week. That's the only week he needs to play. He doesn't need to prove anything. And so if Teron Armstead doesn't play, you're not going to play Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, why doesn't Alex Van Halen get the props he deserves as a rock drummer? It's more than his brother took the spotlight or that Neil Peart, Bosio, Copeland were more popular. It's funny, Grieper and I were having a conversation about that. It's not that specifically, but it's what we were talking about. There's a Lennon and a McCarthy. George Harrison was awesome. George Harrison is no slouch. Ringo's not a bad drummer either. I wouldn't put him in the top 50 or anything, but he's not a bad drummer either. But you're not going to get the love when you have McCarthy and Lennon. And so when you have Eddie Van Halen in a band, Michael Anthony is a hell of a bassist, dude. One hell of a bassist. Nobody talks about Michael Anthony. Alex Van Halen is a great drummer. But when you're with Eddie, you get overshadowed. And it's just the way it is. When you're Edge and Bono, nobody cares about Larry Mullen Jr. And yet he's a damn good musician. It's just the way it is. And in the Police, to be quite honest, actually, it's the guitarist that gets no love. Actually, Summers is awesome, and he doesn't get any love. Only Copeland and Sting get the love. And are not as good. It's just that you ended up with somebody so special on your band that they end up taking up all that attention. But those of us that are hardcore and we follow it, all of us have respect for Alex Van Halen. All of us. That Hot for Teacher drumming, that he makes it sound like a fucking car engine. Are you out of your goddamn mind? That's like watching what's his the Silver Surfer, the guitarist, Satriani. That's like watching Satriani and Yankee Rose making his guitar talk. You know what I'm saying? That shit like that's super creative. Edge doesn't get the love that he deserves as a guitarist because Bono. Because Bono is, and he gets all the attention. And yet Edge doesn't get any attention as a great guitarist. Why? Because he's not flying through the frets. Because he does it differently. He's creative with his guitaring. The sound that he gets. And that's what Alex did. Alex had a great sound too. So I just think it's one of those dilemmas that we run into in life and in certain bands. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. They had their own great drummer and nobody talks about him whatsoever. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. And why? Because you're fucking playing with Jimi Hendrix. And you're done. And so it stops there. You don't talk about anybody else because Jimmy is so special. And dude, when I went to a Halen concert, I was always on the right side. Always. Why? Because Eddie was there. And it's not because I didn't respect Michael and I didn't respect Alex. And by the way, I think David Lee Roth is the greatest front man to ever. Not singer, I'll never put him there, but front man. That guy, the way he wrote, the way he manipulated a crowd and the athleticism he brought to it and the entertainment, I've never seen anybody do that, you know? So yeah, it's just one of those things, man. It happens. McCartney, please. I don't know what that means.
You're saying McCarthy instead of McCartney.
Oh, McCartney. I'm sorry. Did I say McCarthy? Oh, okay, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Safra. You're the rest of your day's ruined now. I made a mistake. You realize I'm doing a show on the fly. No notes, no nothing. It's just, I'm just spitballing. Not an easy thing to do, brother. Anyways. But what are you going to do? We got to thank Cam Wolf. We got to thank Manny Navarro. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform every single day. We thank all of you for tuning in and supporting the hell out of this platform. Please hit smash the like button. If you want to make a donation, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. We will see you on Monday. Probably not the same time, but same bad channel. Be good out there. Rock and roll.
This is the Big O Show. This is the